Put the pieces falling down here. Battening. Like butter, dude. Like. Lord man! Starts the episode once again. We're back on the van. Today is all about the kitchen. We're gonna get that fitted, get the sink cut out with a jigsaw. And Lara, what are you up to out here, son? And then we're gonna make a seat booth. So the first seating booth will go in. Well, yeah, it'll go in this episode. Definitely the frame today. Maybe this episode will last actually 2 days. And we'll get kitchen top cut, bolted, and the seats. See the cable running in here? We've actually got the batteries on charge because the van wouldn't start the other day. And it could be because we've unplugged the taco, where we need to make that shelf. Or, I don't know, it's a little bit of a worry if I'm honest. But yeah, back here. Let's cut the sink in today. We're gonna batten the inverter up on the battery so it can sit over the terminals at the back, get all the fuse and everything tidied away, and make our first seat box, and then I guess the other one as well. So that is what's installed today. So we're gonna put a heater on, but last time we put a heater on, this extension lead went to like 1,000,000 degrees. So it like kept tripping out the heater, and we need a heater because it's like -1 out here right now. But yeah, the extension lead, I can plug this in with one hand, overheated. So put that little bad boy heater on. We on? Maybe that's not turned on in the garage. And the battery charger. Some great filming for everyone right there. Get a few more complaints. People are asking for stabilisation. If you want to buy cameras, buy them for us. We're going to put the inverter on the battery on some 18mm ply off cuts, and then we're going to batten in the side of this to get all that secure, and then wedge the battery with some batten. Before we do that, this is the accumulator, I think. We run the water hose behind the unit down this little hole so it can come up to the tap. That's our job now. The water hose connected and in. Hopefully push connectors or just push connectors and they work and we don't have water everywhere. Just run the water hose through the floor. We've drilled a new hole for the water gauges, like your grey water gauge and your water tank gauge. Just screwing this back up, but there's water hose through the floor. We're just getting all this dialed in now, so when the box is in, we're not working in a tight space. So, all the little fiddly bits are getting there though. Once this is done, we'll be cooking on gas. With a shitty old piece of batten we found, we're gonna go out and buy some nice batten for the seats. Even though we don't see it too much, we want matching batten to be in. So that's just a shitty old piece covered in concrete and stuff, but kitchen wall going in, what do you reckon? We're getting there?
We're getting there.
Okay. Is it pushed all in? Yeah. Around half of the UK because batten is sold out apparently because of the pandemic. We have some batten hanging out the back of the Vito. We just need to, I guess, unstrap it now. If we get in, unstrap our sweet little setup. Long enough? Yeah. Seating areas, here we go. Barney is wiring in a plug socket to go behind the fridge because normal UK plug. And that bad boy straight in there. Meanwhile, I'm cutting some battens here, hopefully the right size, to basically go along there, and then we can wedge the battery up against that. Okay, how's it feel? Tight?
On, off, tight, job done.
Too bloody easy. Slide the fridge in. There she goes, sports fans. Slide her in, about there. So we've got a big gap that of
yeah, we'll move. Well, move it over a bit.
Yeah, come over a tiny bit. We'll be dialed. The Russell Hobbs. And a few splits, so Barney's drilling the next one. Get the top batten in, crank that up, and we are. The side battens are in for kind of around the first seat box. We're just trying to work out where the battery goes now. And get some little pieces of ply underneath the huge inverter.
It is insanely heavy. Doesn't even look heavy.
Work out how the hell we're going to fix it all so it doesn't move and short out on the back. Struggle, it doesn't look the prettiest, but We've got the inverter strapped in on the top, a little packing bit of wood at the back, so hopefully we don't short the battery. Some 2 bits of 18mm underneath, balance kind of in. We're going to cut now the front piece to the box, some 18mm ply. It's going to be 38 centimeters high. Is going to be our seat height, 38 centimeters, because we're going to have 12 centimeters foam on top. So you're looking like a 50mm seat height before it squishes, so not too bad, not too high, not too low. About right, hopefully. So yeah, this seat is going to be 116.5 centimeters wide, so pretty good if you have 2 of you each side in the seating area. And if you want to fold it down to a double, I think a normal UK double, I think is 120. Could be wrong, hopefully right. So it's pretty solid size seating area and extra bed. So we've got a piece of ply out here. We've got the Wix circular saw, still going strong. I'm going to cut some 18mm ply. This thing has seen better days because I'm running the guide along the black line, or even on one side of it to go safe, and it's cutting miles the other side. Hopefully it's not going to matter too much because we've got a piece of ply on top that will fill the gap. But let's go and see, what's it measuring at?
5mm short there.
See, that's what I'm saying, it's crazy. And yeah. I was on the left of the black line. Whereas might determine whether how bad this is or not. It's a snug fit, we know that for sure. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't actually look miles off.
This side is worse.
Yeah.
It's 5mm down.
Cut a hole in now for the diesel heater. It's actually crazy. Everything we put in this van has to be tied in with another piece because we've got so much sick stuff. So hopefully we've sanded that in now, and the diesel heater hole is going to be there. Yo. Sports van, she's bloody in. She's looking good. We'll batten that up. We basically need to batten it up and put it in, don't we?
Batten the floor on the sides.
Batten the floor on the sides and chuck that in. We'll get a sheet on top, and we're really starting to get there. Basically testing out the diesel heater ducting and its little thing on there on the wood. I guess it's just to direct the heat.
Doesn't need to be tight. Well, you don't need to go up to that thing.
Does it not go there? Oh no, it measures out, doesn't it? It's dialed. Here's the wall screwed in. I mean, we've got about 1 million screws in it, but the vent's in, the wall's in. I won't screw that on for now because we could just click that out and then we can paint it probably easier, so I'll leave that as it is. But I mean, it's never going to come off anyway.
Doesn't need to be screwed.
That's the wall in. We're going to put a batten in here now to keep this bad boy from moving. Well, hopefully we'll see how it looks when we put that in. I guess that's next. Just put a batten in there, see how that looks, and we're kind of ready for the top of a box. Little kind of battery bracket looks to be in. Not battery, inverter, and I've got no movement off that now. We only had a couple brackets at home that were way too big, but you're never going to see them, so fire those in. If we ever need to get the inverter out, it will slide out the top very tightly, or undo a couple of screws and it'll slide straight out. We've actually not had to bond anything in. So yeah, it's a win, and we're pretty much ready to get a top piece measured in. This is the top seat piece. We've had to do a few sands. Barney had to go out and get more discs because we ran out. I'd done 30 on basically the bed and some other things. But in the meantime, I put a back support in. We're going to cut this piece across that and hinge it so it flaps up. It's another test bit. It's still a tiny bit tight. You can see it's not quite gone in. Starting in because it actually went in too well. That is the first seat box. Oh, should I give it a little sit? Hope it doesn't fall through. Feels sturdy to me. Love how, you can't see it that good on the goey, but how cool the sanded ply looks. Thing looks insane. Got the back piece in. Hope this piece is about there. Yeah, slight overhang lips, kind of what we're after, just in case you need to grab it. We're going to drill a handle into the middle so you can pull up, but pretty much it for now. I'm going to hang out with my mum. She needs some help moving some stuff for the afternoon, so this just does work hopefully, because I actually got to help my granddad and I guess I'm supporting Bubble. So that's it for this right now, but a little more to come in this episode and we'll get the sink top in. That's one box looking pretty good. Right, we've been out on a small intermission ride. Back in the van, really sunny today, although it's going to rain all day tomorrow apparently. So you saw this yesterday, we've got the box built right now. I found an old pair of hinges, which is sick. They should go on pretty well there. I'm just starting to mark out where a handle is, so I'm going to drill a hole in that, punch that through, get that handle in, and pretty much screw the hinges in, and then we're just going to start. Second one on the other side. Yes, hopefully you've tuned in to Wins TV's channel because he's finished his pit bike build, so go watch that. I've got my very organic, I'm calling them organic because they're super rough, but well, smooth to the touch. Handles, space the hinges in. I'm going to screw those in and see if it opens. 2 screws in each. And that's why. Because it looks like it's still too wide in the top corners when you open it. There you go. So, I'll buzz those 2 screws back at the front. It just needs a bit more sanding. That is some probably completely overkill hinges. Fitted. And working for the electric storage box. Seat box in, I've had to cut this piece in here to match up with the wall. To go there, there is the seat front cut already. So I'm just going to put the piece that's falling down in, then it's nice seat front. Then it's nice seat front, and we'll have a couple seat boxes. The rain is here. I got the awning out for a little test run. We found a loose bolt floating around in the awning. So it scratched the absolute shit out of it. First time we've undone it since we got it back home actually, but yeah, really not impressed with the awning company there. Gonna phone them up shortly, but we're in the van. We've got this wall buttoned up, so you can basically go about building the second box in there today in the rain. Barney's just sanding down the kitchen top to get that to the right length over here. And I'm gonna make some batten so we can get this box in and run some sockets through the front of this. We'll cut a nice neat hole to have a double like 2-gang socket in there, and then we're gonna have a 2-gang socket up here. So sink working. What's this? Waste pipe, I guess.
I'm just learning how the plumbing works.
Learning how the old sink works. Box. Just get a little frame built. Trying to measure off the other box. It kind of looks even in the middle. Not really sure how or why, but it seems about right to me. Then I'll get some ends built in the top. What I'm trying to work out on the end is the end basically needs to be the side of the oven, so I want to work out the height of this. You can hear me, Barney's making the sink fit in the cabinet. Here we go. And I've cut, hopefully, although stuff's starting to get wet, a side piece. I dropped a bloody piece of wood for the second seat box. So, the big end of the box going in, we're going to batten up on the inside of the oven box because the oven's tiny, so don't really need to worry about the size of the batten. It's going to have plenty of room to go in here, but we're going to get this leveled up and about right. This the side in for the second box. For this side here, we're going to put some like spare kitchen top we cut off here around the oven box. So that's that. The oven's going to come to like here, probably on the door, really not far at all. That bad boy's in, so I can get a batten on there, batten across the front, one across the back, get this bad boy finished. But surely we are getting a box. A couple more sides to go in this thing. It's going to look unreal. Hopefully, if you can see me, pretty dark in here, this is the last piece kind of cut. So, my terrible, great filming skills, that bad boy, slotting right there like that. Oh, it's got colder, but we got socket boxes and just quickly hammered out a little jig hole and it went straight on. So, that's how it's going to look down there. And pretty much, actually, I tell you what, I'm going to dust this out, Barney, and I'll screw this piece in while you're here to hold it. Did I do the box high enough? Yeah, just high enough for the box thing. So, we'll quickly dust out the bottom, screw that bad boy in. Here's the front end. Get the heat gun in it, dry out of it, since the rain every time I carry it to the van to the garage is getting wet. But the second box is a go. Barney's about to, we're going to lift the sink, well, it worked about. The line's so faint for the GoPro, but he's going to drill the 4 corners out and start jigsawing it.
I'm scared.
You alright? And I'll just keep doing the easy battening. Just carry this bad boy out. Here we go, we're marking up. It's bloody rain, man.
It's not a good day for it.
Not a good day for anything really though, is it?
Not really. Here we go.
Oh, she's going! That's like butter, dude. Like
Butter, dude.
spider is actually really easy. How's she feeling, Bedwoods?
It's hard work. It's hard work.
Goddamn work. We're getting there. Back bars in. Basically, I've got this in because that's where I'm going to hinge it. So same as this one, just so it opens easier, and the back cushion should always sit there. So basically, just need to cut a top for that one now. Hinge it up, and that box will be done. Meanwhile, Barney boy is on cut number 4. Here we go.
We're almost there.
Let's film you. You can always speed it up. This. Oh.
That's the one.
Whoa, that's gnarly. And look at that, new chopping board. Chopping board for the house or something.
Lovely.
Dude, so thick, gnarly.
Yeah.
Kitchen top, duster off, give her a little test eye up. Yeah, and we've got 2 pieces. I've made them a little bit narrower because this one's a little bit tight. So basically now I just need to drill 2 holes, cut another organic handle in, put some hinges on, and we have got a second box. Got the shelf back in, not a shelf, box. Hope you can see it. Oh, very organic handle as well. I just like the weird look of it. Basically, ready to center it up as good as we can. Butt up that, put some hinges in, and we are good to go. There you have it, sports fans. The hinges are in, and box number 2 is a go. Like I said, we made this one a little bit shorter because that one rubs a tiny bit now. Only a tiny bit. Maybe it's the water in the van today or whatever. But that one's not going to not get used that much. But this one's like my personal storage, so be used all the time. But hinges are on. Screws haven't come through. I'm going to pin the socket cables around here. If I don't drop the camera, connect that to the back of the socket box. But would you look at that? That is our seating area to the Vario. So hype. Really starting to feel like we're actually getting somewhere day by day now. Whoa, look how cool it is. And if anyone's wondering what we've got between here, for like where the table and things are gonna go when you're chilling, the distance is seat to seat 685, 690. So 68, 69 centimeters. So pretty decent. Like you won't have your feet on the other people. Definitely a social van. Like we've opted just to go for the outdoor Yakima showers off the back and not one inside, because you're always gonna have somebody go to the toilet and use a shower really. So just mega chill. We're waiting for an Oscilati, I think it's Oscilati seat adjuster to come, because it's gonna go from 290 high to 690, so it's a massive adjustment. And at some point we're gonna put 2 little beads across here to support the table when it drops down and hold it. So bed number 2. Let's go see how Bedwoods is getting on with the sanding.
That's how I'm getting on with the sanding.
Nice and dusty, mate?
Nice and dusty.
Nice and dusty. He's got it in the feedback work stand right here. Oh, he's doing a lovely job though. We're almost there. Ooh. Mate, we got countertops, benches. Too bloody easy. Yeah, that's kind of how I put it up so we can mark it. We can mark it now where we exactly needs to go.
Well, let's get the corners on. See what they look
That's
like.
a good question. So what we're doing now is marking out where it's got to go around the blind. But to be honest with you, we're going to conclude this episode because it's quite a big one, and the kitchen top's kind of in. The boxes are in. Next up, what we're going to do is work at battening out a huge shelf here. So the next one's going to be a huge shelf there, and putting the tap and the sink and everything in. So tap and sink next time with a huge shelf up there. I did say that was the end of the last episode, but I'll probably cut that out so you won't even see it, because Barney has cut this in around our sick blinds. Like these are blackout blinds, or hopefully this comes up, fly screen when you got your windows open. And he's cut in the sink like this. While he was doing that, I quickly just tried to hack out some tech screws and some batting into here, and it worked. Both sides. I cut a piece here, and pretty much first go, it's fitting like a dream. So we're just going to bolt an 18mm sheet at the bottom of that, and we got a top shelf. And that is the kitchen unit. But that is the end of this episode, because we'll finish that, we'll get all the tap in and the sink in the next episode, so it's looking pretty sweet. And that will be the Steeze van. So hope you enjoyed. Finish the kitchen, get the shelf in, maybe we can cut some cushions in for these bad boys. Like I say, hope you've enjoyed. If you've got any good questions or tips, let us know in the comments. Cheers.